Neo Geo is a console that was beyond its time back in the 90s and beyond many of our reach as well due to its hefty ass price tag. With the classic and retro gaming scene booming with constant new products and projects available to us, a lot have really wanted a way to play Neo Geo games as authentic as possible without breaking the bank. While Neo Geo emulation has been available in many forms for years now, some people may want to go further down that rabbit hole. This is where FPGA gaming comes in. We've had the MiSTer project for a while now, and many of us have enjoyed what it has to offer, as it has had constant updates and releases allowing us to play many of our favorite old school games in a way that is very close to playing on original hardware. FPGAs have been used in gaming for a long time. They've been used in flash cards like the EverDrives and higher-end clone consoles such as the Retro USB AVS and Analog Super NT. FPGAs are being used in consoles to recreate original hardware, and that is exactly what the MiSTer project is doing for many consoles as well, with various cores being released for old school computers, arcade hardware, and retro consoles. The latest core for MiSTer to see a release is the Neo Geo core from Furtek. Today I want to take a look at this core and share some gameplay footage to showcase what you can currently expect. I'm sure the core will continue to be worked on and fine-tuned as this is the early days of the core going public. If you want to grab the core, you can swing over to the MiSTer GitHub and grab it, but also make sure to update your MiSTer files as well if you haven't done so in a while. If you're new to MiSTer and want to get more info or learn how to set it up, the MiSTer Wiki is a great place to start. I'll have a link in the description. I'll also have some other links for information and the core components that you'll need to build a MiSTer. So currently the Neo Geo core is in a special place in that its compatibility relies on the SDRAM you have on your system. Most of us who have dived in currently have 32 megabyte SDRAM, and that is all that is required to play most of the library of games for Neo Geo. Now there are a handful of games that require 64 megabytes to 128 megabytes SDRAM. These SDRAM boards, they're currently becoming available to the public, and if you are just starting out, I'd highly recommend grabbing a 128 megabyte RAM board, as most sellers seem to be getting ready to ship within the next few weeks. If you already have a MiSTer setup, you'll probably want to upgrade as well if Neo Geo is something you want to jump into. But as I said, if you already set up with 32 megabytes SDRAM, you can get gaming now with a nice portion of the library. So now that we got all the formalities out of the way, why don't we check out what we're all here to take a look at, which is Neo Geo running on MiSTer, which is an amazing feat for sure. Definitely appreciative of the work that Furtek and others have done with all these MiSTer cores. Awesome stuff. Really appreciative. But let's take a look at some of the options real quick with Neo Geo. We have the core loaded up. You can go into AES, which is home console mode, or MVS, which is arcade mode. So, you know, like one, you won't have continues. You'll have so many continues. The arcade, you can insert coins, that kind of thing. Video mode, NTSC or PAL. We have like a virtual memory card that you can use. Some games use it, some don't, to save progress on both versions, AES and MVS. Like I know on AES, Samurai Showdown 2 for sure, I know off the top of my head saves your progress, lets you pick back up wherever you turn the system off on, and you know, continue fighting whoever you left off at. We have width option, aspect ratio. You can go original or stretched, widescreen. Nobody's going to judge you. Well, somebody probably will. I won't. I don't care what you do in the comfort of your own home. That is your business. But there you go. Scan, double, or fix, stereo mix. We'll look at some of this stuff with a game on. And then core options, you can load a different core if you want. Define our Neo Geo buttons, remap specifically for a game, and then we can use the scale filter that's internal or custom. If you have custom filters loaded up, you can do that. I just leave it the internal, and then reset settings or save. Reboot, click it once, reboot system, hold it down. It's a cold reboot. So there we go. Let's go ahead and load up a game real quick. Like I said, with the 32 megabyte SD RAM, we have a good chunk, like 75-80% of the library, I think. That's a nice start. Like I said, there's people already selling the 128 megabyte boards. If you jump on one of those, you should have one in a few weeks, and that'll open up the rest of the library. With this being a very early public release,
I don't know that this is necessarily going to be perfect. I've seen a small list of games that have issues, but I think the issue list is a little out of date because some of the bugs that I saw I wasn't experiencing. So, hey, I mean, with all these cores continually being worked on, we're constantly seeing updates. You know, maybe something will be discovered with this or certain issues that are already apparent with just a small handful of games will get fixed. Oh my God, will get fixed over time with updates. Get a little fine-tuned. You know, some people are waiting for the system to get fine-tuned on here. But I think right now, I mean, why not just jump into it, start messing around? I never said I was great at this game. I just wanted to test it out. I'm getting my ass handed to me. Oh my God. Yeah. Take that. But yeah, that's cool. This is running. If you run into issues, sometimes doing like a cold reboot and then loading back into it will solve some of those issues. It's only happened to me a couple times where I've loaded something up or gone into another core and then it's just all messed up. Might be something in the memory, so you got to clear that out. Just reset. Let's take a look at like Metal Slug. I know Metal Slug 2 runs on 32 megabytes. Like some of these games like Last Blades, those require the 64 megabyte. And then just it's just a nice little chunk, not too crazy. Like some of the King of Fighters, Samurai Showdown 4, Samurai Showdown 5, those require the higher SDRAMs, but we could play pretty much everything else. So, and that's, you know, and some of the games that are on that list are also like ROM hacks. So it's not like you're missing out on too much. Like some of the SVC ROM hacks, some of the King of Fighters ROM hacks, that kind of stuff. But the base library, the legit games, most of them run on this right now. So there we go. Metal Slug looking good. Looking good. I'm really happy to do this video and share this with you guys because I know how big of a thing Neo Geo is for a lot of people and a lot of people in my audience. I hear it from a lot of guys out there. And Neo Geo was a thing for me that, you know, that's how I really got into emulating, was because I really wanted to play arcade games and get into some Neo Geo stuff. The system, the original system being so damn expensive, I didn't know anybody who owned one back in the day. I mean, I knew like one person who owned like a TurboGrafx. Like, I didn't know anybody who had a Neo Geo. It was just too damn expensive. The games were expensive, the system was crazy, you know, but we did get to enjoy it in the arcade, pumping those quarters in there. And definitely I wouldn't trade that for anything. Would have loved to have this system. But that's how I got into emulating. Like, you know, I don't have easy access to these games. Like, they're just not available for the most part. So that's why it's cool to see this being replicated on an FPGA system. Like, you know, with the progress that's been made with this, are we bound to see an FPGA-based console from Analog that can run cartridges? Like, I've heard of talks of that with MiSTer having like cartridge adapters. I don't remember who brought that up, but I remember hearing something about it, how there could be a possibility for it. But that would definitely be really cool to see. You know, with this, you know, it's running great. Definitely a little fine tuning for certain other things, but right now I'm super happy with this, and you guys can easily jump into this if you already have a MiSTer setup. If you don't, you're looking at, for the Thoracic DE10 Nano, the FPGA board, the base board, I believe they're like 130 bucks, unless you have like a educational discount, you can get them for like 100. And then the add-on boards, you're looking at around the $200 price range for a base setup to get up and running and play all these awesome games. You know, there's other stuff that I've seen out there, like Blister, which is like the BlissBox add-on board for MiSTer, which I have a BlissBox, which is really cool. Lets you use original controllers, you know, through anything, and it works on MiSTer. So the Blister is an add-on board that's just form-fitted for that with the USB hub built in. That's pretty cool. I'm looking at possibly grabbing one of those just to have an all-in-one system, because I do normally use the BlissBox for my console here, which, you know, it's a little chunky. It's like having a big ass USB hub thrown on here, in addition to. So that would be kind of cool. There's always a lot of neat things going on out there. Let's take a look. I've been talking quite a bit, man. I know people be like, "Why don't you shut up? We just want to see." But I'm talking, man. That's part of the video. I got to talk. I want to talk. I want to talk to you guys. Why not? All right, let's do this. Shut the fuck up and just do it. Come on, bitch. And if you jump into... See, I was going to shut up, but now I'm not because I got something to say. The green blood, that's region specific. So if you boot up the system, you can get into the Unibios and change that. So let's do that. Or let's see if I can do that. There we go. ABC. Region setup, European. If we go Japan, console, we will be good. See, let's exit. So it's just going to be region specific unless you have like, you have it set up to where you can use cheats. Let's see if we got red blood this time, which I'm sure we do. It's the Japanese version. You know, us Americans and Europeans, they wanted that white and green in these games. We couldn't handle it, but Japan could. Japan was fine with it. Freaking nicotine's always a bitch. There we go. Oh! What a piece of... So there we go. That's Samurai Showdown 2. Like I said, some of these games, they might have some minor issues. I haven't really ran into too many other than the ones, some of the ones anyway, that were listed to. You can look at that XML list. We are using the Darksoft pack for the Neo Geo since they're, you know, they're perfect for this. They're already formatted to what this requires. So that is a good thing. Boom, bitch. Take that. I don't like these little characters in this game, like Nicotine and freaking Cham Cham, man. Oh my god. Little fuckers. But there we go. Samurai Showdown, Metal Slug, Aero Fighters, Neo Geo on MiSTer, FPGA Neo Geo. I think this is amazing stuff. Links will be in the description for everything I've talked about. Really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. With that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye-byes, and boom. Bye!